What's up guys, how's it going? So, what is new in the world of Soda Dungeon for June 2017? First off, I wanted to announce a brainstorming stream that I'm planning to put together for June 20th, next Tuesday, around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We just kind of want to hang out with you guys for a minute and get some ideas for the next game. Obviously, up to this point, we've taken a lot of notes based on user feedback. I mean, we already have a ton of ideas that we're planning to implement, and also ideas we'll probably never get around to. I also haven't streamed in a while. I thought it'd be fun just to sort of set up a little stream and just go through some categories like bosses or items or classes or anything like that, just to see what we come up with. So it's pretty unlikely that any given idea will actually make it into the game, but the point is just to kind of throw a bunch of ideas at the wall, see what sticks, and maybe see if it inspires anything else. I mentioned in the past that localization was something we were considering for the current game, Soda Dungeon 1. And while we're still not entirely there yet, we are taking steps toward making that a reality. So right now we've been in contact with a company to help us work on that, and they're actually doing some work right now. So we're going to see what they come up with. And again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself and announce anything for sure, but you know, we're definitely looking to at least take the old game and bring it out in some new languages. And I don't know which languages yet, but we'll announce that when we know a little more about it. Since we're looking at localization, we're also talking about the possibility of a small content update. We figured if we're going to go through the time to work on language support, we should also maybe revisit some bugs and try to fix those up. Maybe some quality of life improvements. Maybe toss in some new items. I don't know. I can never really confirm anything for sure until we're actually there. But we are weighing our options right now for what we can do with the current game. As we work on Soda Dungeon 2, we realize how involved it's going to be, and to support us while we continue to work on Soda Dungeon 2, that means that we need to maintain the original game as well. So that we're always kind of keeping in the back of our mind what are some small ways we can keep players happy in the current game while we still try to focus on the new game. As for Soda Dungeon 2, a lot of my recent work has just been really mundane, simple things you wouldn't even notice. Working on the build pipelines for Android and iOS to make sure cross-platform works. Small rendering issues, upscaling the resolution properly, sort of reorganizing and rebundling the assets in a more structured manner. And then I also did a little bit of cosmetics. So one small thing we're going to add is that you'll be able to change your character's eye color. So, not a huge thing, but I think in a game like Soda Dungeon, it's really good to have a lot of customization options for the characters. So real quick, I wanted to show you the Carpenter class that we started working on. If anyone followed the Trello, or I don't know if I posted this on Twitter or not, but we'd sort of hinted that this would be a class in some form in the game. We're starting with the Carpenter because one of our goals with this game is to build much more of a town instead of just a tavern. And so with that in mind, we want to start with the Carpenter class because the Carpenter is then what you can use to build new buildings for your town. Now this isn't finalized, but I want to show you guys a little artwork that we mocked up. And so this may be what the Carpenter looks like, it may not be. But we're really excited about the idea because it gives us a lot more possibilities of what to include in the town itself. Before, everything was really focused on the tavern, and everything got crammed in there. So the idea is that we're setting ourselves up to be able to deliver a much more robust experience with the game. This month I've been reading The Design of Everyday Things by Donald Norman. I got this book back in college and I just kind of forgot I had it, and I decided to actually go back and finish it. But it's a very good book. It covers a lot of practical everyday design issues that we run into. The book itself is a little dated because computers weren't really that big of a thing back when it was written. They were, but not to the extent that they are today. So it involves a lot of practical, physical examples, but the principles that are covered really do apply to almost anything that we experience these days in terms of like user interface design or gameplay design or things like that. But I think that's about it for now, so I hope to see you guys in the upcoming stream. If anything changes with that, I'll do a quick update like in the comments below, or I'll probably just post on Twitter or something, but I don't think it should be an issue. But if I don't see you there, I'll catch you for the next monthly update.